Before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping, as Randy had said, what we're going to be talking about here, these results are not typical. Success at eXp Realty requires hard work, diligence, and applying proven applied trading principles. So know that success at eXp, like anything else, requires hard work. These results are definitely not typical, but be curious, like Randy said. So a little bit about our company. We'll move over to the next slide, please. Our founder, this guy's a genius. Glenn Sanford had success at many startup companies. In the past, was a mega agent at Keller Williams Realty prior to founding eXp in 2009. He is, listed with Swanepoel and Inman as one of the top influencers in the real estate space and game changers. He's going to be featured at the new Grant Cardone 10X conference coming up as one of the keynote speakers as well. So just an amazing leader and visionary that kind of came up with the notion of our amazing model and where we're at today. We're going to touch a little bit on our timeline. As I said, we were founded in 2009 by Glenn in Semiahmoo, Washington. And I'll touch on some key dates here. 2000 and I think it was 2013, we became a publicly traded company. At the onset, we were traded on the OTC over-the-counter market. And in 2018, which was a bit of a game changer, we were uplisted to the world's largest tech stock exchange and the largest stock exchange, and the second largest stock exchange in the world, which is the NASDAQ. And so for those of you who are curious about, the stock and how the company works, just Google EXPI and you'll get lots of great information there as well. So a little bit about our growth. My goodness, these charts we have to change practically on a weekly basis, okay? As of November 5th, 2020, we were at 38,000 agents. Well, let's fast forward to February 4th, and we're over 43,000 realtors internationally, okay? So, and we'll touch on the countries that we're in short order. We're in Canada, we're in the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, South Africa. We are now in France, we are in Portugal, we are in India, we're opening up Hong Kong, we are now in Puerto Rico. Again, the list is changing. Our goal, I believe, this year is to open about 4 new countries per quarter. And we're blessed to have the former Vice President of International Growth from Realty, which is a 300,000 realtor company strong across their different brands, Michael Valdez, who's been assisting us greatly in our international growth and doing an amazing job. And so, look out, world, because we are coming. Core values. So core values are very important at eXp. A couple of them that I love: transparency. There's really no secrets. It's a very transparent company. Because we're publicly traded on NASDAQ, we have access to all of our financials. Because we're all shareholders in the company, we actually have the chance to vote on key issues at our shareholder summits every year. And we all have input. It's a very flat, linear structure as opposed to the traditional kind of hierarchy that you're used to seeing in companies. My personal favorite core value is fun, in that, we have a lot of fun. Okay. One of the key things we do is we have fun. We do a lot of fun stuff. And Randy and I have had the pleasure of having a lot of fun with people that are on this call, even traveling around the world. So amazing stuff. And agility as well being a key one. And as COVID and the pandemic started to take place in early last year, we didn't have to pivot. We were built for this. So, as everybody was scrambling and, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We've got all these rents and leases and mortgages and all this staff, because we were agile and we were operating out of our 3-dimensional, fully immersive cloud office environment, which is eXp World, there was no pivot required. If you notice our stock in relation to what's happened in COVID, you'll see that it's just been an upwards trajectory, whereas a lot of other people, unfortunately, have not seen that same success or growth. So we're going to touch on our model. Innovation obviously is happening, and it's always happening. So, let's take a look at Circuit City, our largest retailer in the world now, Amazon. Okay. They don't even own a store. And, actually Jeff Bezos just resigned or stepped down as CEO this week. So that's kind of a cool thing and cool shift. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with their model. But again, Amazon does not own a store. Okay. And they are the largest retailer in the world. Uber moves more people on a daily basis than any other transportation company, and they don't own a car. Okay. Airbnb is the largest accommodation company in history, and they don't have a hotel. Okay. These are all cloud-based brokerages, and they're all highly disruptive technology, similar to eXp. And my own personal favorite, Netflix. Let's talk about Netflix. I don't know about you guys and gals, but how many of you all here used to order your videos in the mail and your DVDs through Netflix? I was one of them because I thought it was a pretty cool concept, and I used to get them in the mail. Sometimes you'd be waiting weeks, if not months, to get the video you ordered, but it was a neat concept. Well, anyway, they were in trouble, and in 2000, Netflix approached Blockbuster and they said, "Hey, Mr. Bricks and Mortar, we're in trouble. We've got this distribution system that's we're struggling with the postal service, and just not, it's taken a long time for people to get our videos, but we're working on a cool streaming technology. So here's what we're offering you. You can take us over, give us $50 million. We'll change our name to blockbuster.com, and we'll fly away in the sunset, and you guys will have our technology, and away we go." And the bricks and mortar folks, they spent, I think it was about a week or two analyzing it, and they said, "Thanks, Netflix, but no thanks." So let's fast forward to 2021. Netflix has over, I believe, 200 million worldwide subscribers and a market capitalization, which is the valuation of the company in the public markets, of approximately 200 to $250 billion on any given day. And so Blockbuster actually has one location left in Bend, Oregon. So if you're ever feeling nostalgic and you're in Bend, Oregon, and you want to rent a video at Blockbuster, you can go to their one last location that they have in the world. So again, as you can see, highly disruptive technology versus antiquated methodologies and people that didn't change their thinking or pivot early enough. So at eXp, we're not a franchise system. We're one brokerage, one international company. Okay, so we do not have desk fees. We do not have transaction fees. We don't have royalty fees. Okay, admin fees. Sorry, there's no royalty fees. We work, as I said, out of our cloud-based environment, which is 24/7. It's a 24/7 platform that you have access to all the time. Okay. You can work from anywhere. And because of that, you are extremely agile, and it cuts your carbon footprint as well. So in terms of the environment and our green, footprint, it's next to nothing because you're staying at home. Right. So that's a very big deal. We have paperless transactions, and of course, you get access to instant training in our world on a daily basis. Our training is, we've got over 50 plus hours of live weekly training. And that training, ladies and gentlemen, is taught by some of the top realtors. In fact, we've got James Canal here, who teaches extensively in the world, who's a mega agent, former mega agent with Remax, one of the top international former Remaxers, and who's just kicking butt and taking names at eXp as well. And he's training people on objections, on listings, on buyers, all kinds of amazing stuff. And so you get access to these top level realtors from around the world. So you get different perspectives. And so what I always say is, attend as much of the training as you possibly can, and grab those golden nuggets, those small nuggets that are going to ring true to you, that are, they're going to be in your wheelhouse and level of comfort to be able to implement and take action to help grow your business as well. So that training is just is phenomenal. I actually teach a class in there once a week. It's a role play class, just a quick half-hour session where we go over scripts and objections and all that kind of stuff, and we have lots of fun. So and Randy's taught many classes as well, and mentored, and amazing stuff as well. So our international collaboration, because we're one company, we're not, and we're all owners, the level of collaboration in terms of everybody wanting to help everybody is unmatched. Both Randy and I were blessed to have been aligned with some pretty substantial real estate companies, and ultimately at those other companies, it was kind of every man or woman for themselves, right? And yeah, you were in business for yourself, not by yourself, but it was definitely kind of co-opetition environment. Versus here, it's a truly collaborative environment, because as shareholders, we want to do what's right and in the best interest of the company and for our other fellow shareholders as well. Our support, we have access to full-time tech support in eXp world. If you're having problems with your computer, you can actually give them access to it, and they can dial into the system and fix your computer. So it's pretty cool. I've personally had them help me several times, and really good stuff there. And our community, so as I said, in the world, we've got our team collaboration suites, information sharing from around the world, large-scale meetings. We just finished eXpCon, our national conference. And how many attendees did we have, Randy? Was it about 17,000?
17,000, yes.
17,000 people from, again, they didn't have to jump on a plane. They didn't have to book a hotel room. They didn't have to rent a car. And, it was phenomenal. And again, our specialized departments that are there to assist you on a daily basis. Healthcare. We've got an amazing healthcare program. How many of us can benefit from healthcare? There's a very, very extensive program, and it's throughout North America in both the United States and Canada. So if you're interested in that, you can just Google expagenthealthcare.com for more information. But I know that we have fellow shareholders throughout North America that are saving, hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month with this healthcare program. So gotten great feedback there. So we'll talk about our solutions, our offering, and our small monthly cloud brokerage investment. So first off, KV Core. KV Core is our CRM lead generation machine. It is a artificial intelligence platform. It will text people on your behalf. It will send emails out for you. It ranks and nurtures the client and scores them to a level to where they're ready to transact. It's got newsletters. It's just an amazing system, and that's included in that small monthly cloud brokerage fee. We have SkySlope, and I believe the KV Core platform is about $600 to $700 a month in the US, and close to $900 a month for the similar solution that we offer at eXp. But because we have over 40,000 users, we have obviously a large scale group discount that we're able to pass on to our fellow shareholders. SkySlope, which is a fully paperless transaction management program for all of your listings and your purchases as well. So very, very agile and nimble platform, very robust. Workplace by Facebook. So Facebook has a workplace program they designed for us. Other companies are using it as well. However, we're I believe, the largest single user in the world of this platform. And it's like Facebook on steroids in that there are no advertising. It's strictly business and for business communication. And we've got thousands of groups throughout the workplace platform. And again, it's our favorite ways to communicate with ourselves and with each other in our groups. So marketing, we have a marketing and branding resource center, which is plug and play. Basically, you just enter your information and it will give you business cards, signage, templates, all kinds of stuff. And that's in the marketing and branding center as well. Preferred partnerships, my goodness. So we've got a mortgage solutions company, IntroLend. We have Silverline Title and Escrow, Express Offers, which is our iBuyer program. You can submit your listing. Someone else is listing to it and get paid on it if it meets the investor criteria. We've got a home warranty partner, which is America's preferred home warranty, a utility transfer partner, Moving Hub, our signage partner, which is Build a Sign. We have virtual tours. I believe they're about $100 through 360 Tours, a currency exchange partner, Currencies Direct, and of course, continuing education for realtors to do their continuing education, all that through the CE shop as well. And it's all online. So again, just amazing partnerships. And some of these are wholly owned subsidiaries of eXp World Holdings as well. So again, benefits to using those preferred partnerships as shareholders, because it increases our shareholder value and our gross revenue. So now I'm going to introduce the one and only Randy Dyck. Randy is a former international top 50 realtor with RE/MAX, has been one of the top realtors in the nation for many years, has built an extremely successful business, is an astute real estate investor as well, a father to 3 amazing kids, and a life partner to his lovely wife, Jolene, for, my goodness, I don't want to say 35 years, but is it 35 years? How much time is it? What are we looking at here,
34, Randy? 34.
34, yeah, 34 years. So amazing. Randy and I have been having a ton of fun over the last couple of years building eXp with all of our amazing friends and business partners from around the world. And he's going to touch on, a few pieces of the menu. The cool thing about eXp is that we've got many offerings on our menu. And you know what? You can just kind of pick and choose. If you want the appetizer, that's okay. You can skip it. If you want the main course, you can have it or you can skip it. You can go right to the dessert. You can go right to the antipasto, whatever it is. But he's going to touch on some of the offerings there as well. So everyone, thank you very much for your time. And again, as Randy had said, make sure you circle back with whoever invited you to this session as well. And or if you have any questions, let us know, whoever invited you. And Randy and I will be happy to assist with that program as well. But with no further ado, Randy Dyck.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you for that great introduction. Phil did a great job of spelling out what most brokerages should be doing for their agents, which is number 1, mentorship and coaching. Number 2 would be training. And number 3 would be lead gen. And all of those sit really, really well at eXp, and we do them exceptionally well. But this is where most brokerages stop. They will share that, whether it's the owner brokerage or even the consumer brokerage. But what we're going to share now is about building generational wealth. How many of you thought of what is life like when I stop selling? What is life like? What's my financial future like when I maybe get sick? I don't make it home one night because I get hit by a bus. Whatever it may be, we can't always be on that transactional treadmill for the rest of our lives. I've been doing this business for just shy of 30 years, and I've been a very, very blessed agent and very productive agent, but there comes a time where maybe I don't want to work as hard as I have in the past. And what am I building? What am I building for the future of my financial future, for my estate, and so forth? And eXp has solved that problem for me and every agent at eXp, because we all become agent owners. We all get an ownership piece at eXp. And when you think of ownership, maybe you're thinking, well, I don't know if I want ownership. Ownership means I've got responsibility. Ownership means I have to hire and fire people. Ownership means I've got risk and liability. Well, I'm going to say that yes, ownership does, but not ownership at eXp as an agent. We don't have those. We just get the benefits of being an owner, which is the fun things, other income streams than just doing another deal. So what would it be like if you had, a pension plan as an agent? Have you thought about that? Most of us don't. We don't have a pension plan unless you've come from another job where you did have a pension and then you rolled that pension and you started selling real estate. But what about a pension plan? What about some other income, some passive income? Well, this is what eXp does for us as agents, and I'll share how that is. As Phil said, we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ, so we're a publicly traded company. And Glenn Sanford, the founder, just a genius of a man, said, listen, I want this company to be about agents. So what would I do? I would give them ownership. And how would I give them ownership? He said to himself, well, I'm going to create a publicly traded company, and I'm going to give agents shares or ownership in the company. So here's how we all get ownership, whether I'm a brand new agent or an agent that's been around for 30 or 40 years and you join eXp. Every year, we are gifted stock or ownership in the company, shares in the company. And so we do our first transaction of every year, and we get shares in the company that's traded on the NASDAQ. As Phil was explaining earlier, sharing earlier, that we're just about topped over $130 per share. Boy, when I started, we were trading shares at $7, $8, $9, and now it's trading at $130. And I've only been here 2 years and 2 months. So imagine what that looks like. When we cap out, which we'll talk about fees in a bit, but when we pay into eXp $16,000 for the cap, or we've earned $80,000 of commission for the year, we get more stock gifted to us as an agent owner. And then when we sponsor an agent or attract an agent, so where I was before, I would attract an agent and I would maybe get a cup of coffee, maybe get a Christmas dinner. But at eXp, Glenn said, hey, listen, this is about us as agents. If you can attract another agent or support another agent to come to eXp, I'd like to reward you. Here's some shares in the company. By the way, these are all gifted. I have not paid for them. You would not pay for them when you do your first deal, your capping out deal, as well as sponsoring an agent. And then we have this great award called an Icon Agent. Now, as Phil was saying, James Canal is an instructor in our eXp world. Phil's doing some of that. I'm doing some of that. Some of the things about us culturally when we get this award is we have to share in the world. We have to give back to our community of agents and help other agents. But the Icon Award is an amazing award that I can earn, or you can earn, every year. And it actually gives us $16,000 in company shares or stock. Amazing stuff. And by the way, these are all gifted. Now, we also have another way that we get ownership, and that's called the Agent Equity Program. And that's where we, by the way, it's optional, but I'd highly recommend this. My father said this to me when I was growing up. Son, put 5 or 10% away every year, and it will grow into something special. Well, we can put 5% of our commission into the stock and we get a 10% discount. Well, I've been doing that since I started. I have about 11,000 shares in 2 years and 2 months. So I'll let you do the math on $125 times 11,000, and you'll see why I'm so excited about encouraging and asking you to be curious about this great company, because it's changed my life and it's changed many lives. So that's how we get ownership. The second piece of this is if we're encouraging other agents from around the world, and we can do this anywhere. We can encourage an agent from Miami to LA to Vancouver to Toronto to London, England to Australia, wherever it is. We can collaborate with other agents and invite them to this great company. Glenn says, hey, we're about each other. We're all in this together. Let's reward one another for contributing to help build this great company. So if I'm the orange fellow in this illustration here, and I encourage somebody or invite somebody to join eXp, and they join eXp, and they earn $80,000 of commission or more, eXp, out of the fees that agent is paying into eXp, will pay me revenue share throughout the year of up to $2,800. So, it's not coming out of the agent's commission, it's coming out of the fees that we pay into eXp as agents. And of course, you pay fees everywhere. So why not get a piece of those fees when you've encouraged somebody to come to eXp? So what happens if that agent is only earning $40,000 of commission? Well, I would receive roughly half of that, $1,400. So just to put this in plain numbers, an agent earns $10,000 of commission. eXp, out of the fees that agent's paid into eXp, would pay me $350 or 3.5%. So small little referral fee. And as we move forward in the revenue share cascading group, again, I'm the orange fellow and I've encouraged somebody to come to eXp and they've joined and they earn $80,000 of commission or more. I could earn up to $2,800 for that year. And then that agent inspires somebody to come to eXp. And of course, that agent, they would be in their first tier. They would receive $2,800. But I, the orange fellow, would receive $3,200. You might ask, well, why does Randy get more than the agent in the first tier from the agent in the second tier? Well, it's my role to kind of help that agent that I've inspired to, inspire other agents. So that's why that works that way. And of course, it goes into 7 different tiers. Now, this may be for you, it may not be for you, but if it is for you, this is a great way to increase your potential income streams. I really dig this. Again, being a realtor for 30 years, building teams for 20 years, having agents come and go. This is just music to my ears to see that, boy, I can put a lot of energy and effort into an agent and actually be paid revenue stream from that agent for the rest of my life. So this happens every year. So an agent that I brought on in tier 1, they cap out or pay $16,000 into the company or earn $80,000 of commission. eXp, out of the fees of that agent's going to pay me up to $2,800. Well, next year, that agent starts that whole process all over again, and I get to participate in that revenue share again. And so just to make it not sound too crazy, I just want to show you a quick little spreadsheet of what that looks like. So here's a spreadsheet, and let's just be very conservative. Let's say over the next 5 years, you attract 5 agents to eXp. And those 5 agents only attract 2 per agent, so that's 10 agents. Well, in the bottom right-hand corner of this spreadsheet, you'll see $46,000. So potentially, over the course of the next 5 years, you attract 5 agents and they attract 10, you could potentially be earning $3,000 to $4,000 a month or $46,000 a year. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. And remember, we are talking about a company, a brokerage that is about who? It's about us, the agent. Who's the hardest working person? When you think of brokerages, you've got maybe a founder, you've got maybe a regional owner, then there's the franchise owner, And then there's you, the agent that lives in the basement suite of this brokerage castle. Who's the hardest working person in the castle? It's us, the agent. Yet we're never rewarded for inviting somebody to come and work at the brokerage. We're never rewarded for being there and actually supporting the brokerage. And Glenn said, that's wrong. Glenn, our founder, said, let's make it about the agent. And let's give the agent not only commission streams and not only give them good resources to be highly productive as agents, but give you ownership and, of course, revenue stream. And so if there's more interest on that, we can certainly dive deeper. But I'll leave it at that for now, just to give you a little taste of what the revenue share is like. So let's jump into the fees. And I've got fee structure for Canada as well as the United States. This is the Canadian version. This is the American version. And so we've got people on this call from all over the nation. So I'll start here, and there's a slight variance for the Canadian version, but basically, if you go to the right-hand side, there's an $85 monthly cloud brokerage fee and $40 for risk management. We really, really want to protect the agent when it comes to risk management. So E&O insurance. And so we actually pump up the E&O insurance for every agent. So to be at eXp, depending on what side of the border you're on, if you're in the US or Canada, it's roughly $85 to $150, depending on which side of the border you're on. And of course, when there's a deal that goes through, there's a broker review fee of $25. That's the same no matter what side of the line you're on. And then we work on an 80-20 commission split. Now, you might be at another model where it's a monthly fee or a desk fee. Well, we pay a commission split. So when you earn a commission, then you'd split it. And we cap out at $16,000. So we're not the cheapest, we're not the most expensive, but what we do offer is we offer a world that you can't get anywhere else. So if you're all about the fees, this may not be the place for you. If you're about thinking long-term, you're thinking about generational wealth, you're thinking about, boy, I want to create something that's way, way bigger than myself and my next commission, this is the place to be. Going back to our fee structure, once you pay $16,000 into eXp, you start earning 100% of your commission. Now in the fine print, you'll see $285 there. In Canada, it's $285. And so once you've paid that transaction fee, after earning 100% of your commission, you do that 20 times, you become an icon agent with our company. You get the award, you get the recognition, and you get $16,000 of company stock. Imagine that, $16,000, amazing stuff, which takes care of your cap fee. So if you're a highly productive agent, this is the place to be. If you're an agent that's trying to be highly productive and you need some help, we've got the mentorship, the training, and the great lead gen tools because we're a technology company first. There's a sample of what our fee structure is at. And I'll close with this slide, and then we'll open it up to any questions or some testimonials. And so Jeff Bezos, which he talked about earlier, which was Mr. Amazon, he stepped down from that at this time. But when he developed Amazon Prime, he wanted to make something that was irresistible for anybody not to be using it. And he said, I want it to be financially irresponsible for people not to use Amazon Prime. Well, when I saw this model, by the way, I have to thank Phil Hahn. Phil presented this to me back in July of 2018. And within 20 minutes, I said, this is the place I've got to be. And it's been life-changing, as I said. But the conversation that I was having in my mind when I was looking at this same presentation was, I would be financially irresponsible. Think about that. Financially irresponsible, not only to myself, but my family, my estate, not to be part of eXp Realty. With that, I'll open it up to questions. Is there any questions at this time or anybody want to share? And Phil, I don't know if you want to drop into the chat some things there. You probably have done that already.
I've included the Canadian introduction, the PowerPoint, as well as the US introduction, a copy of the wealth chart for people that are interested in possibly looking at that opportunity, and then a short wealth chart seminar as well. And again, there's really that the revenue share is just such a small piece, but it's a pretty unique offering on the menu. And I always say, if you are interviewing other brokers, you may want to ask key questions I would say to ask are, number one, will I get, a platform like KV Core? Will that be included? Great question to ask a potential broker that you're interviewing. Number two is, will I get 50 plus hours of live training by top agents from around the world on a weekly basis? So another great question. Will I get stock or equity in your company just for doing what it is I do, which is representing buyers and sellers on a daily basis? So that's another key question to ask any broker that you're potentially interviewing, if you're in that process. And number four is, will the broker owner share the revenue, the gross revenue that they're generating on a monthly basis with me? And if they can say yes to those four questions, then I think you've probably made the right choice. And if not, then I think you really need to do a deep dive onto eXp, because there's a reason why we're the number one valued real estate company in history, and we're just going up and up and up. So yeah, really exciting stuff.
Quickly, Milap has a question about the Icon Award and how that works. Great question. This is just an absolute game changer for me, because I've received it every year since I've joined. And so how you receive the Icon Award is you cap out. So, let's do some simple math. Let's say commissions are $10,000 in your area. And so basically 8 sales to cap out, right? $80,000 of gross commissions earned caps you out. So you sell 8 homes at a $10,000 commission equals $80,000. And then at that point, you need to do 20 more transactions or earn $500,000 in gross commissions. And so if you do either of those, you receive the Icon Award, and you can receive that award every year. So I'm on my 3rd year now. I've capped out, and I am about 10 deals away from receiving my 3rd Icon Award, which is another $16,000 in company stock. We receive that stock in different amounts. So right out of the gate, you receive $8,000 that is vested for 3 years in the stock market. Another $4,000 of that stock is vested, and it's for your cultural contribution. So this is where I jump into the world, and I'm I'm either teaching or on panels sharing my best practices. And then the last $4,000 is gifted to us through stock again, but that stock we can trade the next day, and that is by showing up at our 2 big events. Orlando is one event, that's the shareholders event, and then we have the Vegas event in fall, and so you receive the second $2,000 there. So just an amazing award. At RE/MAX, I chased all the awards. All I got was a trophy that collected dust. In fact, I even had to pay for those awards to get them delivered to my house. So I'm just stoked on this one.
Yeah, Randy, it's incredible. And you know what? It's kind of like not that the award doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's weird, eh? Like, we did chase these awards for years, but now that we're shareholders in the company, it's just a completely different mindset, because you have so many equity awards, and the equity awards are just so much nicer than the trophies. I don't know, right? It's nice to see that pile up. Nav, Kella, and team, how are you, Nav?
Good, Phil. And Randy, thank you for, it's such a great feeling to be part of this eXp, family. And today's a great day. And I just checked my stock, and it's over 95,000 USD, my holding. And I was like, man, it's been a year over 3 months, I think a year and 3 months for me in eXp. And I still remember in August 2019, I went to Randy's office in Abbotsford. And next time I visited him with my all list of questions that I wanted to ask, and I got started right away. So,
and you've done an amazing job, and you've helped our group grow into India as well. So we're now in India. So amazing.
Yes, I was talking to some of my friends in India the other day, and because of the COVID, I cannot travel to India. And I'm like, right now, I'm about 6 deals away from my first icon. And my buddy Anmol is about 10, 12 deals away from his icon as well. So we are building really big, and I'm going to visit India probably on October again. And then I'll be visiting to a few big cities to meet all my friends in Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Delhi, and we're going to build. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So honored to be in business with you all. So keep up the great work, team.
That's probably 95,000 US too, right?
Yeah. So that's like 17 million Canadian, right? Like, that's just incredible. depending on where the dollar's at. Hey, Sean Donnellan, our friend from Ireland. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Sean recently joined eXp as a new licensee and was the former top salesperson at McLaren Supercars in the Pacific Northwest. And Sean, why don't you share how your experience has been so far?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, my background is in automobiles, like luxury auto sales. If anybody likes supercars, obviously, I'm sure a lot of people like them. It was, an incredible job. Drove around in $500,000 supercars, so I didn't have to pay for them. So that was a big benefit. It was, at the end of the day, it was still a desk job, commission only, you eat what you kill. So I wanted to, make more money. I suppose I was never going to be able to afford one of those McLarens selling them. Real estate as an option. I interviewed at every single brokerage, Remax, Century 21, saw them all, and I saw eXp and I couldn't unsee it. I got what Phil calls eXp insomnia. Instead of having just, one commission check coming in, I now have 3 streams of income. I have stock options, I have revenue share and commission. So it's changed my life. The level of freedom I have is just, mind blowing for me. So it's been incredible. I'm really excited for the future. Obviously, the company is 10 years young when you compare that with the other real estate brokerages that are out there at a similar size to eXp. A lot of them are smaller, obviously. Where is it going to grow, So really excited for that. As for me as a new agent, the training was vital, 40 hours of training in eXp world. So, I don't even have time to do all of the training. So it's been incredible. So yeah, thank you guys for everything. I would also like to say as well that I asked Phil when I got started, how can I sell, 50 houses a year? And I asked that to everybody that I interviewed at, and most brokerages laughed at me. Phil gave me a blueprint and a plan, and I'm not there yet, but in my first 6 months, I've been fortunate enough to get 16 listings. And it's not to impress anybody. That's just to impress on people, what the coaching and training of eXp is all about. So they really are agent obsessed. So thank you guys very much for everything. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Sean, and thanks for sharing. And it's an absolute privilege to be in business with you. Jimmy from the YAG, are you available to share it all, or are you multitasking?
It's so funny. The thing that I was multitasking with, I got an email saying, "Hello, James. Not sure if you remember me, but you helped my cousin and I buy a house in Fort Saskatchewan in 2014. I just got engaged, and my fiance and I are pre-approved to buy a house in Sherwood Park. Can you give me a call this afternoon to discuss?" So
there you go.
There you
Amazing.
go. A little 2014 love coming back around, which is awesome.
So James is another mega icon agent that has partnered with us at eXp, was a former international top Remax realtor, has built a massively successful real estate team, and is an astute real estate investor, has helped create wealth through real estate ownership for, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people have probably learned from you, James. And so how is your, why don't you share your experience? Because you definitely did some extensive research and a deep dive before making the upgrade. And how's it been? It's been, my goodness, when's it going to be 2 years? You just finished your first year, right?
I'm at month 16, maybe 17.
And did you get your second icon yet?
Yeah, I put in the chat window. I got my second icon on, I hit the threshold on January 1st, and then my shares were issued as of January 15th. So I like to log into my account just to keep an eye on things, because it's nice to watch that little ball of shares grow. And yeah, lo and behold, today the deposit hit my account. So I was very fortunate because they issue the shares on the 15th of the month. So my shares were prorated back to January 15th when the shares were $75 a pop. So
you've made a little bit of money on your shares, James. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was a nice little thing to open up to in the morning. But yeah, I mean, Randy was kind enough to introduce me to eXp when he first joined over, and I wish I had joined at the same time as him, because I'd have about 10,000 shares by now too if I had been on the same track. But being 8 months behind him with how quickly the company has grown, I'm several thousand shares behind him. But so congrats to Randy for being brave. And I got a case of the analysis paralysis. So if anything, if you're a big time analyzer like me, it took me probably about 6 months of comparing options and interviewing brokerages. I've been with Remax for over 10 years, so I was slow to move over. But ever since I have, it's just been amazing. I mean, when Randy says life changing, a lot of people say, "Oh, this changed my life." Sometimes they're being dramatic because they ate some delicious ice cream. Changing eXp is quite literally a life changer. I mean, the the extra revenue that the revenue share has created, it takes the pressure off of doing deals, which is pretty cool. And then just watching my personal net worth grow substantially because of the shares is super cool too. And it's pretty amazing. Like it really is incredible. So it's great to be here.
Well, we're just honored and blessed to be in business with you, James. And, it was nothing. We had the pleasure of having, of course, all COVID protocols observed and everything, and a lovely meal in the last month. I think it was the three of us
awesome.
and in Vancouver, and enjoyed some nice wine. So just amazing experiences.
That was a great experience. So yeah, it's awesome to be in business with you guys too. And, I always reach out to Randy and Phil to talk about not just eXp, but just my real estate practice. So they're great mentors. They're great guys to be in business with. And joining BXP has been the best decision I've made in my real estate career so far, which is saying a lot because I've had a lot of successes. And so in a great career, this has been the crown jewel so far.
And you're only getting started, James.
Awesome. Hey, there's just a tag off of mentorship that James had. There's a question about mentorship, and eXp has amazing mentorship because, first of all, because we're all owners. So collaboration is at the highest level amongst agent to agent. And I've never experienced this like I experienced it at eXp. I owned a brokerage. I was part of a great franchise called Remax for 20 years, but never did I experience mentorship like I'm getting here. We all need mentorship. But for an agent that is brand new, the mentorship is at such a high level. And if you're a new agent, you're enrolled in the mentorship program. And mentorship programs are different from state to state, province to province, but they're all phenomenal. And you'll learn so much. And then the training, the 60 hours of training from world-class agents from around the world sharing their very, very best pro tips, is outstanding. So excellent stuff. And Milap had another question about that. So just reach out to Amrit or I, and we can certainly help you with that. There's a question about referrals, US and international. How does that work at eXp? I'm in South Florida. Amia, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, Amia. We have an amazing referral network. And one of those tools that Phil shared about, which was Work Chat and Workplace, it's on our phone. And we literally, in fact, I did this morning. I literally went on my phone and I'm doing a presentation for somebody in the UK. And I reached out to a couple of UK agents in England. Boom, instant response. That's how I would find my referral for the UK or my referral for Miami. I would just drop in Miami into my Workplace Work Chat, and I would find, the 5 or 6 agents that I want to connect with. So super, super easy. Any other questions out there? Anybody want to chime in? Anybody want to share their story of how things are going at their brokerage?
Just one quick share here is that if you are, look at our model and, if you're doing a due diligence and a deep dive, please do. But just remember, if you're going to buy a Tesla, don't go to the Ford dealership to ask them for their opinion. Okay. It's like people will say, I talked to my broker at my traditional bricks and mortar office and he said eXp is bad. Well, you know what? Ask a taxi driver what he thinks of Uber. Okay. Or go and ask a hotel operator what he thinks of Airbnb opening up in their city. Okay. Or go ask a small retailer what they think of Amazon. So it's unfortunate that there are some casualties in the marketplace, but unless you're willing to change, you're going to, you're not going to survive and you're not going to thrive. And so my challenge is that make sure that as you do your due diligence and your deep dive, that you don't go to the Ford dealership to ask them for their opinion while you're buying a Tesla, because they're not going to have anything good to say. Just remember that. Okay.
I'll share one other analogy that I think is really cool too. We're in real estate. And so as real estate agents, we often see these subdivisions being built. And so you see this beautiful subdivision with the streets in, the curbs are up, and there's nothing built yet. And there's this ATCO trailer in the corner. And the ATCO trailer is a sales center. It's got your color boards, it's got a map of the subdivision, and there's a few plans that are on the wall. And you have those clients or buyers that come in and they're willing to take a chance maybe I need to be first. I don't mind being first. I come first, I'll probably get a better opportunity. Well, eXp, that's the way eXp was back in 2013, 2014, 2015, where we're just a subdivision that's starting out. It's dusty and there's a few things that aren't quite right. We got the ATCO trailer and we're sharing out of an ATCO trailer what eXp is like and what the opportunity is. Well, today, depending on where you're at, it could be a show home that's set up. So just imagine how different it is when you've got a show home. If you've ever done project sales, you got the show home up, people get to come in, they taste, touch, smell, they feel the carpet, and they actually get a sense of the quality of fit and workmanship. Well, it's a whole lot easier to convince somebody to buy at that point. But guess what? They're paying a little bit more at that point than out of the ATCO trailer, right? Somebody had to be first. You're now coming into the show home opportunity. And then there's those buyers that they need to see the subdivision basically built out. The dust is gone, the trucks are gone, the noise is gone. That's when they decide to move into the neighborhood. Well, you have to decide where you want to join this great company of eXp. Are you at the ATCO trailer stage? I was the first agent in my area for miles and miles to join eXp. And they said, whoa, Rand, what are you doing? And I knew I was onto a good thing. I knew I was, getting that special opportunity. But today in my neighborhood or my area, we've got a show home up and a second one going up. So it's significantly different. And there will be people, even on this call, that will say, well, no, I got to wait. I want to watch this a little bit longer. Well, you're welcome to come whenever you want, but I'm going to tell you that the sooner you come, the better the opportunity, the better you're going to be as far as a real estate agent, the more success you're going to have. Ownership changes everything, people. Ownership changes everything. So I'd encourage you to not procrastinate. When I was sharing this with James, I was a little bit frustrated actually with James because he was taking his time, he was processing, he was analyzing. I was just going like, dude, this is amazing. But I respected James's work that he was doing. He needed to find it within himself to make sure it was the right decision. And so I'm grateful that, James, you've joined me in this great company. We're partners. And so I'm very, very grateful for you, James, to come on board. So any questions or anything else? We're almost at the top of the hour. We don't want to keep people too long, but if there's a question or two, reach out.
Hey, so Randy.
Yes, Matthias.
Hey, so if I haven't even sold my first house yet, can I start sponsoring agents?
Great question. Great question. So we have a program called an LOI, or letter of intent. And so you can actually get into the system, because I know you're just newly licensed, correct, Matthias?
Yes, that's correct.
So we can actually put you into our system as an LOI, and you can start attracting agents if that's something that you want to do. And
Yes.
it will be put into your rev share line when your license is actually
Completed. Achieved.
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
Great for you.
Okay, because like in the last week, I've already have 4 or 5 people that are interested. I've given this speech probably around 20 times to different people. So far, like I have 3 friends that have just gotten their license. They want to join. And I have 2 realtors around in Chilliwack area that I've already kind of attracted. So I'm going full force with this. And I see the potential. And it is honestly life-changing. And last week I found my passion, I think. So I am going full throttle at this, trying to do everything I can to be successful.
Man, that's really, really awesome. Matthias, reach out. Let me help you.
Okay. Yes.
Awesome.
Very excited.
Exciting stuff.
Welcome aboard, Matthias.
Thank
So anyone else want to share anything, or we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to cut her loose in short order here?
I'm going to put my my email address in the chat line if you want to reach out to me, if you have questions. I'll also throw in my phone number. Phil, do you want to do yours as well?
Sounds good. Mine's going to come across as Randy Dyck as well, but and please make sure to circle back with whoever did invite you. Awesome, everyone. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Have an amazing week. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Just honored that you're taking your time out to explore our amazing model, and I would love to be in business with you. Have an amazing week, everyone.